arcade. We welcome you back to the Louis Lee Fieldhouse as we continue our coverage of Mayville State University basketball here on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network. From KNOX and Rock 95, Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening again. We've had the pleasure throughout the course of this season to partner with Mayville State University on our partner station, Rock 95, to bring you coverage of their college athletics, including some football, some volleyball, and some men's and women's basketball tonight. Due to some scheduling conflicts, due to makeups, we're here on KNOX to bring you our coverage of Mayville State University men's basketball as the Comet men are at home to take on Dakota State in the opening round of the NSAA basketball tournament. It was a great effort for Mayville State down the stretch to find their way to the number 4 seed, and they'll earn that coming from down the ranks a little bit. At one time, they were sitting in 6th place in the conference standings and had to find their way to dig themselves into the top half, but because of some late season good vibes, they were able to move themselves up to number 4, and they take on a Dakota State team that ends up number 5. Mayville State wins a tiebreaker, loses a tiebreaker, with Valley City State, both teams finishing at 8-6. Mayville State, with that loss at home to Valley City State, had a chance to move up and tie. If they could have picked up that victory, they would have been a 9-5 basketball team, and everybody in the conference was 9-5 or worse this year. Bellevue, Viterbo, both 9-5. Mayville State, Valley City State 8-6. So the Comets finished just one game out of the lead at the end of the season, and Dakota State finished only one game behind that. This is a league that really beat itself up throughout the course of the conference season, and so there's not a big chase here for Mayville State to try to win their way into the national tournament with the conference championship, but all 3 games, if they get that many, are going to be real tests. And tonight, no different. Dakota State comes in overall 12-17. They are 7-7 inside conference play, and Valley City State 17-10. I'm sorry, Mayville State 16-9 overall and 8-6 inside conference play. So we should have a good one tonight. Mayville State won their last 2 games of the season. The State lost their last 2 games of the season. And so the nod goes to Mayville State. They get a home game on this one. They're going to take on Dakota State to try to move on to the semifinals. It should be a fun one. We bring it to you tonight courtesy of our premier sports partners. They include Franson Bank and Trust, real people, real results, fransonbank.com, and New Vision Truck Accessories, your truck accessory supercenter in Grand Forks. Our pregame report is brought to you by Russell Hans Photography. You can find him on his website, russhans.com. That's RUSSHONS, russhans.com. He's the premier action shot man for athletics in the region. He has a number of galleries from our high school and college teams from around the region at his website. You can find those galleries, and you're also available to bring Russ Hans to you for private hire. You can find him at russhans.com. If you have a young athlete in your family and you would like to have those special action shots as a keepsake for what you have going forward out of that young athlete's career, you need to reach out to Russ Hans at his website and find out what's involved in bringing him to your event. You'll get the professional attention of a professional sports photographer solely directed at the athlete that's in your family. russhans.com. That's RUSSHONS, russhans.com, bringing you our pregame report. We'll run down the pairings for the NSAA tournament coming up in just a couple of moments and give you a bit of a preview of these 2 teams as we get ready for what should be a really, really fun night tonight between Dakota State University and Mayville State. The Comets are at home to take on Dakota State here on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. Lamar Wood, Jordan Lynn. From the Louis Lee Fieldhouse, Mayville, North Dakota, campus of Mayville State University, we welcome you back to our coverage of Mayville State University basketball. Tonight, it's the men as they get ready in the NSAA tournament. It's the opening round of the tournament around the region, and the Comets are at home to take on Dakota State University, the 4 versus 5 matchup that we'll have for you tonight in the NSAA tournament. Ryan Cunningham with you, our pregame report brought to you by Russell Hans Photography. Find his website at russhans.com. If it's time to update your business image, Russ Hans Photography can help, even if it's just a LinkedIn profile picture or something really big like headshots for your office setting or new pictures that would accentuate your business on your online presence like your website. Russ Hans Photography can come to your place of business and can also do that in studio, depending upon your level of interest and comfort. So contact Russ Hans to take your business profile to the next level. RussHans.com, that's RUSSHONS, RussHans.com. A preview of the men's tournament. Number 1 seed is Viterbo. They'll take on Waldorf, the 8 seed. That game is tonight in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Bellevue is the 2 seed. They'll host Presentation, the 7 seed, in Bellevue, Nebraska tonight. The 3 seed is Valley City State. They get Dickinson State, the 6 seed. That game is at the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse in Valley City. And here at the Louis Lee, the 4-5 matchup, Mayville State and Dakota State. But again, one game separated number 1 and number 4 in this league, and 2 games separated number 1 and number 5. This really could be anybody's tournament. Our tools for the game are brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealers with a full line of Kubota products to help you do your best work, and that includes industrial snow removal equipment. Now, I don't know if we're going to need it again, but if we do and you've been worn out by this season, then you know what you need to do. Upgrade your snow removal game. See what they have for you on their lot across from Simplot on Gateway, and they also have the tools to make construction work much easier. Scissor lifts, diggers, loaders, both large and small depending upon your needs. And if you're a do-it-yourselfer, they have every power tool you need to complete your projects at their main tool store, which is just south of Gateway on North Washington and Grand Forks, and the service department to make it work again. Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, they're your Kubota dealers in Grand Forks. Dakota State, with just a half point separating them, putting 4 in double figures on an average. They're led by Ronnie Ladding, who is a freshman of Lemon Grove, California, and at 6'8", he is going to be a presence inside. 11.1 points per game. Lamar Wood, also 6'8", 11 points per game. A couple of twin towers that can really propel the front line for Dakota State. 6'3", Jordan Lynn at 10-7 a game out on the perimeter. And off the bench, Jackson Simons tonight, a 6'2" junior guard at 9.5 points per game. Those will be some pretty impressive numbers for Dakota State to come into the matchup. At the end of the regular season, Mayville State was led by Tom Gieske, 12.7 points per game. Former Sartell Sabre, he's had a great season for Mayville State. Latrell Franklin on the perimeter at 11 points per game, and then there's a host of support scoring. The next 5 scorers are only 2 points or less away from double figures themselves. Sebastian Griffin, 9'4", Jamison Kramer, 8'8", Winder Joseph, 8'5", Sam Grayson, 8'2", and John Ketchel at 8 even. It's a team that can score the basketball, and Mayville State has the tools that it takes, and they've really extended their bench a little bit to get some extra size in the second half of the season. And they're going to really need that tonight against the size that Dakota State can bring into the arena with a couple of 6'8" men. Those are the tools of the game, brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealers to help you do your best work in Grand Forks. Let's take a look at our starting lineups, which are presented by Absolute Refrigeration. The starting lineup for the visitors, the Dakota State University Trojans. The guards are Chris Morales, 6' junior from T, South Dakota. Jordan Lynn, 6'3" junior from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and a transfer from Lake Region State. And Max Nielsen, a 5'11" freshman from Volga, South Dakota. The forwards, Lamar Wood, 6'8" senior from Calumet City, Illinois. And Ronnie Ladding, a 6'8" freshman from Lebanon Grove, California. Gary Garner's in his 13th season as the head coach of Dakota State. He's assisted by Trevor Flemmer. For Mayville State tonight, starting lineup, Latrell Franklin, 5'8" senior guard from Temecula, California. Sebastian Griffin, 6'3" freshman guard from Adelaide, Australia. The forwards will be Tom Gieske, a 6'4" junior from Sartell, Minnesota, and John Ketchel, 6' senior from Discovery Bay, California. And the post is Sam Grayson, a 6'8" sophomore from Ipswich, Australia. Darren Tige is the head coach of Mayville State in his 5th year. He's assisted by Alex Herman. The lights are off here at the Louis Lee, trying to put a little atmosphere into this one. And I'll tell you what, for a Wednesday night, we've got a really nice crowd here tonight. The student section is out in full force. We've got a good fan section behind us in the two sections that are reserved for Mayville State fans across the way, and also here on our side of the Louis Lee. And when it comes to tournament time, small college basketball can be a whole lot of fun, and we're about to have that tonight here at the Louis Lee Fieldhouse. So this should be a fun one tonight. 4-5 matchup, Dakota State in navy blue. Kind of an interesting offset university. Powder blue letters across the front. White numbers outlined in powder blue. Mayville State home whites with blue shoulders. And the Comets will move left to right, Dakota State right to left. Lamar Wood reports to the face-off circle, if you will, center circle for the jump against Sam Grayson from Mayville State. The winner on to Watertown in the semifinals. It's an elimination game. We get ready for Wood versus Grayson, Dakota State versus Mayville State. Grayson wins the tap. Dakota State with Jordan Lynn in control will walk it into the front court, and the Comets look to match up defensively. Lynn on the top of the key. Now it's going to be a little bit of a zone look perhaps for Mayville State. Ball to the left corner, Chris Morales. Back off to the top now for Max Nielsen. Back to Lynn. They look to the right corner. First time for Ronnie Ladding, and he stepped on the baseline trying to make a little pivot out of the corner. Ladding will turn it over, and the ball will go back to Mayville State. A careless turnover for Dakota State on the opening possession of the night. 19 seconds into the game, Mayville State will bring it into the front court. Tom Gieske giving away to John Ketchel. Grayson on the high post, looking at Franklin on the left wing, wants to hand it to him, but Franklin's covered up well by Chris Morales. He'll hand back to Gieske coming from right to left. Gieske is picked up by Ronnie Ladding, and this guy's a load. Ladding looks like an offensive tackle out there. Huge body for Dakota State. Franklin inside, shot clock deep. A kick out to Gieske. He'll move inside the lane. Got to the block, now a turn and a fall-away jump shot. Good from 13 feet. Tom Gieske getting the opening points for Mayville State. And the Comets are up 2-0. Max Nielsen to the front court for Dakota State, off to Morales on the sideline. Nielsen bounce pass near side, and a three-point shot that will draw a foul. Jordan Lynn stepping out to take a three. He was blocked out hard by Sebastian Griffin, and Griffin will be called for a foul, and that's going to put Jordan Lynn on the foul line for three. Crowd doesn't like the call. Darren Tige explaining his view of the call to one of our officials on the near sideline. And the first foul shot is on the way and good for Jordan Lynn. Worth mentioning, we got this one started early tonight. We're already a minute 2 in, and we have not yet hit the 7:30 mark, so a really efficient operation here at the Louis Lee this evening. Second foul shot for Lynn is good. That'll tie the game. And Dakota State goes looking for their first lead as Lynn, who has hit taking a three-point shot, tries for all three. And the third one is also good. So three straight at the line for Jordan Lynn. And it's 3-2. Dakota State takes a 1-point lead over Mayville State. Ketchel front court for the Comets. Handing off Griffin. Looping for Gieske on the top of the key. Back to Griffin to get the flow started again. Grayson, left side of the floor, left alone on top. Back to Gieske on the right side, and Latrell Franklin will take it on the left wing. A screen set by Gieske. Franklin picked up, then drops underneath in the alley-oop try for Grayson. He missed the dunk. Didn't quite have his hands on it completely. Lamar Wood comes up with a take for Dakota State, and Morales brings his team into the front court. Wood inside, spinning his way down to the block. Kick out is blocked away. Sebastian Griffin takes it away for the Comets. He's down numbers as he drifts into the front court. Ketchel, a deep three in transition. Shot no good. Grayson has one knocked out of his hands on the rebound. It's touched up last by the Comets is the call, and Dakota State will get the basketball back. 3-2 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard, 18-16 to play in the opening half, and Chris Morales will walk his way into the front court for Dakota State. Took a look at Lynn on the right side, and he'll take it from Lynn coming out high. Left side of the floor now for Max Nielsen. They look into Lamar Wood, bodying up with Grayson Hard, spins to his left hand, now fall away, and the perimeter ends up missing, and the rebound to Grayson for Mayville State. A lot of contact was initiated by Lamar Wood. They let him play through it. That could be a sign of what type of game it's going to be tonight. Ketchel inside, down low to Grayson, drop step, got Wood in the air, shot was missed, but Wood is going to put Sam Grayson on the foul line. Grayson going up, trying to draw the defender up, and did so. The little pump fake got Lamar Wood way up in the air. And then Grayson sort of cutting underneath, actually undercut Wood's legs out, but Lamar Wood okay, and Sam Grayson will go to the foul line from Mayville State, trying to get the scoring started from the stripe tonight. First one is no good. Foul line brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online at rbbelectric.com. That's rbbelectric.com. Grayson trying to tie the game now for the Comets, and he does. 1 of 2 from the foul line for Sam Grayson. We're even at 3. 2 minutes, 15 seconds into the opening half. Max Nielsen, front court for Dakota State, takes a look at what could be described as a 1-2-2 zone. Inside empty, they kick it down there, and the jumper on the way from Jordan Lynn is no good from the foul line. Rebound brought down the baseline by Latrell Franklin. Mayville State front court. Franklin wrapping around Grayson to the glass, blocked. Lamar Wood came up with a piece of it, comes down with a miss and kicks out to Jordan Lynn. Lynn up front, behind the back pass, finding his way to Max Nielsen. Nielsen off to Morales, reversal to Nielsen in the corner. Now to Morales in the top of the key. Hard take right side of the lane, finger roll to the basket, and we'll see the first points of the night for Chris Morales. Lead swings to Dakota State at 5-3. Ball top of the key, Ketchel, now to Grayson on top for Mayville State. He's left alone out on top. So we're seeing the defensive wrinkles. Mayville State 1-2-2, rather zone defense, maybe a little bit less than the 1-2-2, maybe a full-on 3-2 when they get in their set. A jumper by Gieske for 3 comes up empty. Rebound, Sebastian Griffin, turnaround, putback, rolls in. Sebastian Griffin falling away, finishes up on an offensive rebound for Mayville State. That'll tie the game at 5 and get Dakota State's bench active. They want some more rebounding help inside. Lamar Wood, right side, a jump stop on Grayson. Reversal back out towards the right for Jordan Lynn. Lynn looks back into Wood, got loose, reverse. Grayson blocked him. Stepping down, Sam Grayson stuffs Wood and knocks him to the floor. Loose basketball to Grayson as well. Comets into the front court. Big defensive play for Grayson, knocking away the reverse layup. Franklin caught inside, looks down low and a foul. They're going to get Lamar Wood into the back of Sam Grayson, looking for the post-entry pass. And that's the second on Lamar Wood. That's a big foul for Dakota State to give up, as one of their bigs will have to come out of the game for a while, but they'll make some changes and still some size to come in off the bench. We'll see Jade Burma, 6'7" freshman from Miller, South Dakota, and Berto Gittens, a 6'4" senior from Lakewood, Washington. I'm telling you folks, some of these guys are an absolute load. They've got some big bodies on this Dakota State team. Franklin underneath, Colby Dillenbeck on an alley-oop that comes up empty. 0 for 2 in the alley-oops tonight for Mayville State. Dillenbeck, a freshman from Dallas, Texas, comes up empty. The other way, a little finger roll over the front iron for Berto Gittens will draw a foul from Dillenbeck of Mayville State. Gittens is 6'4" and 220. Getting back to Ronnie Ladding, who's still on the floor for Dakota State. Correction, they did sub him out. Ladding at 6'8" and 270 pounds. I mean, that guy could play 2 sports at Dakota State. There's an offensive line spot that is available at 6'8" and 270. There's a lot of things you can do athletically, and you don't see a lot of 6'8", 270 on a college basketball floor. First foul shot for Berto Gittens was no good. The second is, and that will give Dakota State the lead at 6-5. We played a little over 4 minutes of the opening half. Winder Joseph now in the game for Mayville State. He hands off to the right side and a takeaway. Loose basketball to Jordan Lynn. He's got a step to the basket. He'll finger roll over the front iron. First field goal for Jordan Lynn on the takeaway breakaway, and it's an 8-5 Dakota State lead. Winder Joseph, 5'11" junior from West Palm Beach, Florida, into the game for the first time. Also Jamison Kramer, 6'6" sophomore from Marion, North Dakota, former Lemoore Litchfield Marion Lobo. A shot that goes away on the far side from Joseph. The rebound tricks out of bounds. It'll be last touched by Mayville State. And Dakota State will inbound the basketball with a chance to take a 2-possession lead in this one early with 15:25 left to go in the opening half. Morales backcourt for the Trojans. Steps up between the rings, looking left side. Mayville State sagging back. They're going to zone up again. Ball comes to the near side of the floor, taken on the near side by Max Nielsen. A turnaround jump shot that's no good from Jade Burma, but an offensive rebound for Dakota State. Morales will step into a three, the right side. That one short. Dylan Beck has the board for Mayville State. Remains a 3-point lead for the Trojans at 8-5. Latrell Franklin, actually, yes, it is Franklin, going court wide to Jamison Kramer. Now Winder Joseph on the right side of the floor. Joseph off a screen, gets switched upon, kicks back to Franklin. A head fake for Franklin. He'll hand back to Winder Joseph with a jab step to his right. Joseph, a spin move, coming back on top of the key. Cross left hand, kicks down low, and the cut for Dylan Beck was too hard. Ball out of bounds. It'll go back to Dakota State. Gieske comes back in, replacing Sebastian Griffin. Dakota State leading 8-5 in a low-scoring matchup early, which probably favors the Trojans. With their size, they'd like to gum things up a little bit, make it difficult for Mayville State to get inside. Comets drop back in that 1-2-2 zone again. A little high-low inside, and Dylan Beck takes one away that was intended down low for Jade Burma. They tried to run the bigs high-low, and that one goes away. Jamison Kramer brings it up the floor for Mayville State. Franklin, high court-wide pass. Winder Joseph can't save it. He stepped on the baseline, going back after another turnover by the Comets, and Dakota State will get it back. 14-13 remaining now in the opening half. Dakota State head coach Gary Garner, who has been doing it for the Trojans for a while, stalking that sideline as Dakota State back up the floor. Morales left side. 3-point shot up and off, taken by Jordan Lynn, and Colby Dillenbeck has the rebound for the Comets. Mayville State back up front. Left side, Latrell Franklin, stop and go dribble. Back to Dillenbeck to the basket, he'll score. It's not a dunk for Colby Dillenbeck, but the fingers touch the front iron. He could have put it down. That time trying to assure the bucket. Great play to the basket for Dylan Beck on the cut, and a good dribble drive and drop from Franklin. And it's 8-7, lead cut to 1 for Dakota State. Jordan Lynn left side, stepping in, hard Euro step jump stop and had the ball knocked loose. Turns it back out to the perimeter, taken by Max Nielsen, back into the corner, and a blocking foul. That will go against Jamison Kramer. Kramer's first for the Comets. And a change each way. John Ketchel comes in for Latrell Franklin from Mayville State. Dakota State will send Ethan Slodog, 6'4" freshman from Hayfield, Minnesota, comes into the matchup. Morales will step over to inbound. 6.5 minutes into the opening half. 1-point lead for Dakota State at 8-7. Slodog with the basketball on top, working left. Bounce pass to the left corner. It's Burma looking at a long baseline jumper. He hit it. He was kind of dorked over there as well. They just left him alone. And Burma took a look, then brought it down, then took a second look and hit the jumper. And the lead back to 3 for the Trojans at 10-7. Dylan Beck on top. Winder Joseph left side, getting a screen. Back to Dylan Beck. Screen and roll. That time, Dylan Beck with a dunk. Two-hand flush on the left side of the rim. Dylan Beck with 4 as the baseline has come open on a couple of possessions for Mayville State. And the Dakota State lead is cut back to 1. Morales top of the key, fronted by Winder Joseph. He'll give it away left side. And a turn back to the top for Max Nielsen. Morales left side draws a double team. Nielsen again on top, defended well, back to Morales. Right now the interior's closed off. Burma thought about the baseline jumper, then takes it, this time strong, and Gieske the rebound. Mayville State goes looking for the lead. Ketchel on top, back to Gieske, steps into a deep 3 in the left wing and left it short. Rebound Morales for the Trojans. And Dakota State's back up front. Morales hard take to the left side, a stop. Look back out to Max Nielsen, between the legs dribble, working right. Kicks towards the right corner, got it out to Slodog, and now a jumper from the foul line for Berto Giddens. That won't go down, rattles, but falls away from the basket, and Dylan Beck has the rebound for Mayville State. 10-9, Dakota State by 1. Ketchel driving for the Comets, brings it back out to the foul line. A stop, lob into Dylan Beck, turned to the left hand, ball knocked loose, and a late whistle. Foul coming up that's going to put Dylan Beck on the line. The foul will go against Chris Morales. That'll be his first, and it will put Colby Dillenbeck on the foul line for Mayville State. 12:03 to play of the opening half. Foul line brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online at rbbelectric.com. Dylan Beck with 4 so far in the matchup, leading the Mayville State Comets in scoring. He'll get his 5th on his first opportunity from the line. Jordan Lynn back in for Dakota State, replacing Max Nielsen. And Sebastian Griffin comes back into the matchup, replacing Jamison Kramer. Dylan back at the foul line in a tie game. Second foul shot on the way is good, and Mayville State will take their first lead at 11-10. Grayson will come on to replace Dillenbeck. Colby Dillenbeck has gotten better and better throughout the season. 6'7", 233, Dallas, Texas native. He's just a freshman, and if he sticks with it here at Mayville State, he's going to have a bright future. One thing of note, and Darren Tying has been quick to tell us this, Mayville State's team is the youngest team in the North Star Athletic Association. Naming their freshman would take a paragraph at this point. Jordan Lynn up top for Dakota State. Morales back to Lynn on top, looking left side. Ball rotates back down underneath, and now a kick to Morales. Teardrop in the lane is missed, and Sebastian Griffin comes down with a rebound. Out to Winder Joseph, left side, Gieske. A look to Sebastian Griffin on top. He'll drive in against the crowd. A stop and a look, reverses back out on top for John Ketchel. Morales comes to get him hard, gives it the left hand. Ketchel will take it, then threw up a lob for Grayson that's out of bounds, and it goes back to the Trojans. Ronnie Ladding is back in the matchup now. Again, 6'8", 270. The way he carries himself is just impressive, and he's not afraid to come out to the perimeter and get the basketball there either. Joseph up front, Jordan Lynn looking for a screen. Berto Gittens will flash high, set the screen for Lynn, who drives, will pick a foul from behind against John Ketchel. Ketchel's first, the 4th against the Comets. 11:22 to play here in the opening half. And Morales will inbound with Jordan Lynn coming over to take the basketball from him, right back to Morales. Comets drop back in his zone. Ladding left corner, working his way into the lane, tries to match up with Grayson. To turn off the glass, Ladding scores. To see that kind of footwork out of 6'8" and 270 is impressive. They've got a good one for Dakota State. 12-11. Trojans have a 1-point lead. Ketchel on the near side of the floor for the Comets. Gives to Sam Grayson on top. Grayson will hand off to Winder Joseph coming back towards the top of the key. Joseph spinning right, hard taking the lane for Grayson. Got it off a bobble, turns around, puts it up. No good, but Joseph comes out amongst the trees with a rebound and a foul coming up inside. They may get Ladding blocking Winder Joseph trying to get back to the perimeter. They will not. They'll get Jordan Lynn instead. Be the first on Lynn and the 4th against Dakota State. Latrell Franklin re-enters the game for the Comets. And Mayville State will inbound with John Ketchel throwing it in. Ketchel looking left side. Sebastian Griffin rotates back to Franklin on top. Franklin working right side. Crossover, got to the left block. Spins his way inside on Getting. Tries to kick it back out and found Grayson. Now to Griffin on top. Shot clock 10 seconds. Griffin hard take to the basket. Scores it high off the window. Sebastian Griffin hard take down the right side of the lane. Had to kind of fade away and score that off the high glass. 1-point Comet lead at 13-12 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard halfway through the opening half. Slawdog on the right side, looking down to Berto Gittens out of the right corner. Gittens will look in, hard clear out inside. They go to Ladding, he scores off the glass. We mentioned that there was a lot of contact let go early. That time Ronnie Ladding took advantage of it, just backed his way in with a shoulder and was able to operate almost freely inside with a lot of contact. Franklin, left corner for Mayville State, kicks it out in the right corner for John Ketchel. Ketchel a stumble coming away from Jordan Lynn. Ketchel a stop, hands off for Franklin. A cut against Chris Morales on the right side, comes out in the corner, shot clock at 10. Stopped by Franklin, Grayson rotated in. A kick around the lane that's knocked out of bounds by Gittens. It'll stay Comet basketball, only 4 seconds left in the shot clock. 9:46 left, and now a timeout will be taken by Mayville State, and on time to do it with 4 seconds left. Correction, this is going to be a media stoppage. 4 seconds left on the shot clock when we return. It's 14-13, a 1-point lead for Dakota State over Mayville State here at the Louis Lee Fieldhouse. We have a timeout here on News Radio 1310 KNOX and the Franson Bank and Trust. New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network. Thank you. Out of the timeout for media with 9:46 to play in the opening half. Mayville State has 4 to shoot, down 1 at 14-13. Comets in the front court, inbounding underneath the basket. Sam Grayson and Ronnie Ladding tying things up underneath. That's a hard-fought physical battle between those two right now. Ketchel taking a look, count on against him, comes out to Latrell Franklin on the left sideline. Franklin behind the back dribble, and he didn't get a shot away. Shot clock violation against the Comets, and Dakota State will turn Mayville State over. Numbers at the halfway point of the opening half with Who Lit the Lamp, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Colby Dillenbeck, 6 points, 3 rebounds off the bench. A really nice rotation for Mayville State to lead the way for the Comets. Jordan Lynn with 5 to lead the way for Dakota State. Trojans with the basketball. Jordan Lynn getting a screen to the foul line. Pull-up jump shot, good. Jordan Lynn sinks it. Takes a look over to the Comet bench and stares them down as well. 7 for Jordan Lynn, and it's 16-13. Mayville State back down 3. Sam Grayson left side looking to hand off for Latrell Franklin. Franklin driving in, a stop, maybe drug the pivot foot, got away with it. A lefty follow-away that won't go. Ladding comes up with a rebound over Sam Grayson for Dakota State. Berto Gittens into the front court. Ladding left side in the high-low. Backing his way in on Grayson again. Spin, back, follow-away over the front iron. Ronnie Ladding. 6 points for Ronnie. This kid's a freshman. 6'8", 270 freshman. How Dakota State found him, that's a big find for the Trojans because this guy's got skills. Ball inside, Sebastian Griffin rotating back out to the top for the Comets. Latrell Franklin off a screen for 3, and he hits it. That's part of the game plan for Mayville State. They hadn't hit one until that moment, but Latrell Franklin for a 3-point shot. Lead cut to 2 at 18-16 till Dakota State lead. Berto Gittens from the foul line sticks the mid-range jumper. The big man stepping out and extending his range. He's got 3. 20-16, Trojans by 4. Gieske inside, looking. Sending it back out top of the key for Latrell Franklin. Franklin driving left, pulls up from 12, trying for the one-hand dunk was Grayson on the weak side. He didn't get the ball. Jordan Lynn at the floor for Dakota State, tracking to the right for the Trojans. They lead by 4. Berto Gittens, a pull-up from the elbow, now a fall away from the foul line, hits again. And the bigs beginning to extend their range as Gittens has 4, and the lead is 6 for Dakota State at 22-16. Kind of a critical moment here for Mayville State. They have not been able to get into their 3-point game yet, and the physical game is going Dakota State's way. Franklin, right side off a screen, and they throw one away, looking for Sam Grace on the baseline. Darren Teig is going to make a change inside. A couple of them, Jamison Kramer, Colby Dillenbeck back in, Sam Grace and Tom Gieske out. But now a chance for Dakota State to go up 3 possessions as Jade Burma will come back into the matchup, and Max Nielsen will come back in as well. They got to get Ronnie Ladding a break. This kid looks gassed, but I'll tell you what, that's impressive. 6'8", 270, when you see him operate under the basket, the footwork is unbelievable. Dakota State has a machine inside. 22-16, lead is 6 for the Trojans. They're into the front court looking for that 3-possession lead. Burma, foul line, pull-up jump shot. That's been good to Dakota State lately, but comes up empty. Rebound to Colby Dillenbeck. He's got 4 of those already on the night. Winder Joseph up front for the Comets. Between the legs dribble, crosses over knee high. Drifts away from pressure from Nielsen. Hard take to the rack, draws a foul. And he'll be on his way to the foul line. Foul will go against Max Nielsen. That'll be his first. And we'll see Winder Joseph going to the foul line for Mayville State. So Joseph goes to the stripe. These will be free throws number 5 and 6 for Mayville State tonight. They're currently 3 of 4. Dakota State is 4 of 5 from the foul line early. Joseph's opener is good. Winder Joseph will knock down a foul shot to cut the lead to 5. And a big exchange here for Dakota State as Slothog will step off, Burma will step off. Ronnie Ladding didn't get much of a break. He's back in along with Berto Gittens. Second foul shot is on the way for Winder Joseph. And it's on the way, and it is no good. It comes off the heel of the rim, and the rebound comes down with Ronnie Ladding for Dakota State. The lead is 5 with 7:10 to go here in the opening half of play. Ball left side of the floor with Morales. Morales stops, looks into the foul line for Ronnie Ladding. He's left alone there. Will charge in on Colby Dillenbeck. Dillenbeck arms up, Ladding blocked down. He'll turn it back out to the wing for Jordan Lynn. A head fake by Nielsen, down to Morales, back down low. Berto Gittens with the one-hand tomahawk. Berto Gittens with the drop step tomahawk slam over the front iron for Dakota State, and they get an emotional moment in a 7-point lead at 24-17. Dillenbeck left side for Winder Joseph into the lane, pull up short, rebound goes loose on the baseline. Morales had it, then it was ripped away by Latrell Franklin, actually Winder Joseph rather, but picked up, and now Jordan Lynn comes into the front court, and he may have tweaked an ankle. He came away limping a little bit. A long look at him from the bench right now, and he's not moving that well, and here's an offensive, no, they're gonna call blocking foul. Colby Dillenbeck trying to take the charge. And Ronnie Ladding is shaken up on the end of that contact. He's slow to get up off the end line. Looks to be okay, and they're going to call a blocking foul against Colby Dillenbeck. That'll be his second. And we'll see the ball going back to Dakota State. But I'm a little surprised that they called that a blocking foul. I thought that might be an offensive foul. And Berto Gittens, just inside the three-point line, steps back and extends his range again. That'll be another bucket for Berto Gittens. That'll take the lead to 9 at 26-17. Sam Grayson, left side to Winder Joseph, a stop in the lane. Looking back left side to Dillenbeck, and here comes an offensive foul against Colby Dillenbeck, or Sam Grayson rather, trying to get free. Sam Grayson will be called for the offensive foul. That's the 6th against Mayville State with 6 minutes to go till halftime, so the penalty the remainder of the way for Dakota State. Ronnie Ladding coming off the floor, and again appears to be hampered a little bit as he'll come in. He gave a really hard hand slap to Jade Burma, and I swear to you that broke Jade Burma's arm clean off. 26-17, the lead is 9 for Dakota State with under 6 to play in the opening half. Comets need a push here. Berto Gittens on the top of the key. One-on-one with Kramer, the step back, the shot strong off the heel. Winder Joseph comes down with a rebound from Mayville State. Ketchel into the front court, driving right. Kick into the corner, Jamison Kramer floats his way in the lane, bodying up against Morales. Ball poked away from behind. Max Nielsen will take it back for Dakota State. Morales into the front court for the Trojans. Left side, Nielsen. Morales looking down to the baseline. A pull-up by Burma. High arcing jump shot, he hits it. Another big hit from the perimeter, that time for Burma. 6 points on the night for Jade Burma, and the Comets find themselves down 11 at 28-17. Ketchel working right side with Sebastian Grayson. Grayson driving inside, gives it away in the left wing. Griffin brings it back out to Winder Joseph. Joseph off the dribble, pops for 3, and it rolls off. An offensive rebound for Grayson, rips it away, drives himself inside on Burma, and scores out of the heel of the rim. Offensive rebound to put back for Sam Grayson. And the lead will be cut to 9 at 28-19. Ball into the front court for Dakota State, picked up left side. And it's Berto Gittens trying to back his way down against Griffin. Turning to his left hand to stop, kicks it back out on top. Jordan Lynn open for 3, that one's strong. Rebound comes off to John Ketchel. Chance for the Comets to cut into the lead. Joseph looking left side. Grayson, here comes an offensive foul. You can see it coming. Grayson spun his backside into the lane, got into Jade Burma. Grayson will be called for a second. Tough break for Mayville State. They were trying to draw the offensive foul earlier and could not get the offensive foul to go their way. That time, pretty good defense inside by Jade Burma. And Burma picks up the charging foul against the Comets and Sam Grayson. And so Dakota State back into the front court, leading by 9 at 28-19 and with the basketball. Top of the key, Max Nielsen, bounce pass into Berto Gittens. He'll kick it back to the wing for Jordan Lynn. Lynn on the foul line, spinning his way down to the baseline. Exchanges spots with Burma. Stop, looper back to Morales. Left side, Berto Gittens, a fall away from 10 feet, using the window strong. Rebound comes down with Tom Gieske from Mayville State. Under 4 to play. Comets back into the front court. Winder Joseph hard taking the lane. Offensive foul. Comet crowd's not going to like it. Winder Joseph seemed to have run into a man that was in the semicircle underneath the basket. Usually you don't get that call to go your way. That time it does. And Dakota State will have a 9-point lead still in their hands. 2 possessions for Mayville State where they got stops to try to cut into the lead, and they come away empty. And Dakota State still with a chance to reclaim a double-figure lead. Morales into the front court for Dakota State. Gives it away to Nielsen on the right wing, back to Morales. Jordan Lynn. He looks into the elbow. Berto Gittens squares up against Grayson. Drives, got to the glass. Grayson stopped it. Ronnie Ladding and O'Board will pick up a foul. Ladding trying to drop his way back down the baseline to foul against Tom Gieske. That'll be Giesche's first. 3:32 to play until the break. And we'll see Ronnie Ladding going to the foul line for Dakota State. We'll see what the big man can do from the stripe. 6'8", 270. Has a heavy tape and brace on his left foot that appears to be ailing him a little bit. His right foot looks okay, but that left foot right now seems to have a little bit of a hamper to it. First foul shot for Ladding is good. Sometimes you don't see big men shooting foul shots that well. He's got 7. Lead back to 10 for Dakota State, 29-19. Sebastian Griffin back in the game for the Comets. 3:32 to go in the half, and we'll see Ladding back at the foul line for his second of 2. It's on the way. That one is no good, and the rebound comes down to Tom Gieske. The Comets need a bucket. 19 points in the first 16 and a half minutes. And we'll see a timeout taken by Mayville State to discuss it. 30-second timeout for the Comets. 3:26 left until halftime. Your score on the Hugo's Low scoreboard, 29-19. Mayville State down 10 to Dakota State. We're back with more in a moment on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
14869. Please see Josiah. Leading underneath the scoreboard. Again, 14869.
Comets down 10, 29-19 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. 3:26 to play until the break. Mayville State's hit an offensive funk here as of late, looking to try to break out of it, and they need to, as they've been able to do what they wanted to do to Dakota State at times tonight, but haven't found the offensive success to back it up. Winder Joseph curling into the lane, down low to Grayson. He came up off the bottom of the backboard. Gets his own miss, backs his way in. There's a flop by Dakota State that wasn't called. Sebastian Griffin pulls down a miss. That's no good. Gieske taps it back. They're going to wave off a shot that goes in. So Gieske tapped one and got it to go. They're going to wave off the basket, and there will be a blocking foul against Max Nielsen of Dakota State. Crowd doesn't like the call, but there's no lobbying from Darren Teig, the head coach of the Comets, so Mayville State will not get points. They'll keep the basketball. Shot clock reset to 20. Sam Grayson asks about the call, and apparently that foul took place before the tap by Gieske, and now we have a little bit of moisture on the floor, so we'll mop that up before we get restarted. See a change. Dakota State's going to take advantage of the opportunity to put a new man in. Ethan Slodog, the freshman out of Hayfield, Minnesota, comes in. We talked about the youngest team in the conference. Mayville State's freshmen include Preston Gwynn, Steven Garza, Tane Mitchell, Sebastian Griffin, Hannah Abed, Colby Dillenbeck, Josh Dixon, all freshmen. And the sophomores come after that, right? John Ketchell on the top of the key for Mayville State. Comets need a bucket with 3 to play down 10. Bounce pass in, we've got a whistle. One of those freshmen, Tane Mitchell, 6'5" freshman out of Adelaide, Australia, is going to pick up a foul against Dakota State, and that'll put Tane Mitchell on the foul line. The sophomores, Jacob Strand, Bennett Olson, Jacques Safra, Jamison Kramer, and Sam Grayson. You look for seniors on this roster, John Ketchell, Latrell Franklin, and that's all you got for Mayville State. That's how young this team is. Mitchell's first foul shot, no good. Rebound tapped out of bounds. It'll stay Mayville State basketball. Somehow. Sebastian Griffin got a left hand up on it, knocked it out of bounds, and I think everybody in the arena anticipated this is going to go back to Dakota State, and it will not. The Comets will get it back, and we'll definitely take it. Now we've got another whistle. They've reset the shot clock to 30. They have to reset it back to 20 on the ball going back to the offense. That gave Gary Garner an opportunity, the head coach of the Trojans, to read the riot act to the officials, and now a timeout will be taken by Mayville State as they struggle to get the basketball. So with 2:57 left until halftime, 29-19 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard, 30-second timeout for Mayville State. We're back with more in a moment on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network. Tomorrow night, it's high school hockey back here on KNOX, as we will have Red River in the state tournament against Bismarck Legacy tomorrow night. It's an 8 o'clock face-off, 7:30 pregame report. Inside, drop step to basket, Tom Gieske with the hang as he goes down the baseline on the inbounds play. Mayville State with a slam dunk from Gieske to cut the lead to 8, 29-21. That brings the Comet faithful to their feet as they get a big moment. Ronnie Ladding for Dakota State looking underneath on the baseline, not there, goes in to Jordan Lynn, and a cut. He'll be fouled by Sebastian Griffin. Sebastian Griffin with his second personal foul. So we'll see ball going to the foul line for Dakota State as Jordan Lynn will shoot 1-for-1 penalty. Hit on the way across the lane. First one's no good. Actually, that's the 10th team foul against Mayville State, so it'll be the double penalty for the Trojans. First foul shot, no good. Can we get a second to go out? Second one's on the way. Nope, that one's going to make it. Jordan Lynn knocks down his 8th, and it's 30-21. The lead is 9 in favor of Dakota State. Comets into the front court. Ketchel. Crossover dribble back towards his left hand to stop. Look towards the corner. Hands it off to Latrell Franklin. Franklin, a little behind the back dribble, steps back out by the circle. John Ketchel, left side, getting a screen. Whistle. And a foul coming up. And it's going to go against Deshaun Kelly, who blew up that screen for Dakota State. Kelly, a junior from Seattle, Washington, in for his first minutes, transfer out of Alaska Fairbanks, and he just went hard into the screen that was set by Tane Mitchell. And we'll pick up the foul as Mitchell goes to the foul line to shoot the penalty, and that first one won't go down. Ronnie Ladding comes down with the rebound. So Mitchell 0 of 2 from the foul line. It remains a 9-point game at 30-21 for Dakota State. 2 minutes left to go in the opening half. Ball on the right side of the floor. Berto Gittens will hand it off to the wing. A drive and a hard take to the basket by Deshaun Kelly. He'll score with the left-hand finger roll. First 2 points for Deshaun Kelly. Trojans back up 11. 32-21 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Mitchell, right side for Griffin. Griffin hard take in the lane, spins his way back to the right, got underneath, pulls him off the glass, missed it, and the rebound underneath to Ronnie Ladding for Dakota State. Well, the Comets going to the glass. Again, the three-point shot just has not been something they've been able to find so far tonight. On top, Deshaun Kelly for the Trojans. Working right side, Jordan Lynn. Lynn coming back to the left, back to Kelly in the corner. Crossover on Latrell Franklin. A pull-up on a fall-away from about 7 feet, no good. Ladding deflected the rebound, but Tane Mitchell saved it inside. And the Comets come away with the basketball to John Ketchel. Ketchel's got an alley, kicking out. Gieske, left side, Latrell Franklin. Ball fake back to Gieske. Tries to drive the baseline, ends up out of bounds, dropping against Ronnie Ladding. Gieske and Franklin each could have taken a 3 there, and neither decided to do it. And the Comets are kind of off their game during the break. You'll probably see Darren Teig talking a lot to his team about playing their game because they're coming out of it right now. Jordan Lynn, front court with a minute to play in the opening half of basketball, and Dakota State up 11. Lynn, top of the key, finding Berto Gittens. Gittens sets down the dribble, kind of creeping up against Jamison Kramer. Back off to the right side for Lynn. Lynn taking a look in. They want Ladding on the inside. Shot clock at 8 seconds. Now it's Lynn, the crossover. Near side, Deshaun Kelly, hard take. Got stripped by Mitchell. Got the ball back and scores off the glass. What a play. Deshaun Kelly stayed with it after Tane Mitchell stripped him. The lead is 13. Comets need a triple in the worst way to cut this thing down to 10. Comets into the front court with it. John Ketchel takes a look at the clock. Looks towards the left side. Indicates play to Tom Gieske. Back to Ketchel in the circle now as Latrell Franklin will take over the shot clock at 10. Franklin against Ronnie Ladding goes court wide to Ketchel. Ketchel stop in the corner. Jamison Kramer. Franklin foul line. Underneath, head fake Mitchell. Got a shot blocked inside. Berto Gittens blocked it. Deshaun Kelly getting free with a couple of behind the back dribbles. He looks down to the right side and the buzzer will sound before a shot can get away. And that's going to end the opening half of basketball. And not a good first half for Mayville State. Held to 21 points. And they trail by 13 as we go to the locker room on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. At the break, your score, Dakota State 34 and Mayville State 21. And we'll go to our halftime report brought to you by Applegren Construction. We're going to have a special guest coming up at halftime. Earlier tonight, Mackenzie Hughes leading the women to a win. And Mackenzie, the former Thompson Tommy, will join us at halftime to give us the rundown of the matchup along with how things have gone for her in her freshman year here at Mayville State University. So join us for that coming up in just a couple of moments. 34-21, the Trojans on top by 13. This is Comet Basketball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. What's that? Well, you know what? You're a big deal. So you'll find it again, right? It'll be easy. We'll be on in about 45 seconds. I'm going to ask you really easy questions. Don't worry about it, okay? I told your dad to have your mom send you because I didn't see him. I just saw your mom. I didn't, and then I looked up there and I'm like, oh, there he is.
Was he staying there during the game?
I don't know.
For him, I did not see him.
I didn't see him either.
That's what he did in high school when he was stressed.
Oh, is that what he did? He stood up? I don't know what was going on. I thought it was odd that he wasn't in that spot. They're always right there, right? Halftime report brought to you by Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. You can find them online at applegrenhomes.com. That's applegrenhomes.com. Men's play here at the Louis Lee Fieldhouse, 34-21, Dakota State by 13 at the break in the opening round of the NSAA tournament as the 4 seeds, Mayville State trailing the 5 seed. We'll get to the halftime numbers in a couple of moments, but earlier tonight, the 2 seed, Mayville State, with a win over the 7 seed Presentation College. Freshman out of Thompson, North Dakota, Mackenzie Hughes leading the way, scoring 17 in the win tonight. And Mackenzie Hughes joins us to give us the rundown on what college basketball has been like here at Mayville State and what it means to be in tournament time. And it equates it all to what those tournaments were like back in Region 2 tournament days and state tournament days and things of that nature. But first, Mackenzie, I saw one of your early lines. It might have been game 2 of the year. You scored 20-something points. And I ran into your dad later and I said, well, it seems to have taken Mackenzie about 15 minutes to figure out how to play college basketball, and she has that beat already. And then, you know, obviously throughout the course of the year, I'm sure you found out this is kind of a grind. It takes a while. Give me your impressions on playing college basketball and what you learned this season. You know, sometimes players that are standouts in high school struggle to adjust to the idea that there's a lot of standouts from high school that are here, but you had a chance to elevate yourself, first person off the bench, and you found success early. What do you think the key was in that? Coach Hunter comes over and says, sure, you grab Mackenzie. Yeah. You know, she just said, Coach, that her teammates have taught her so much, and here you are making faces at her. And I'm telling you, if you don't let her do a good interview, the first pitch your kid throws this year is a foot outside. So you need... So Mackenzie, again, you know, obviously around a lot of players that are really good, but you found a way to fit in early. Talk to me about what that was like for you. You know, you got lineage here. Your mom and dad, obviously, big supporters here at Mayville State, alum, that kind of thing. What did it mean to, you know, when you had your choices, and I know there were a lot of schools that were talking to you about going there, but you had a chance to follow not only your parents, but your brother here. Tell me what that was like for you. Okay. All right. Did this team come together this year? Really? I mean, the 2 seed, obviously, you got a nice mix of players from a lot of places. It does appear watching you guys really enjoy playing together. How do you feel college or high school basketball in this region? It's a really good region of high school basketball. How do you think that prepared you for this step?
Going against the competition, I think, us in draft is always a good competitor to play against, and I think playing against great players like them definitely helped me out like this, and because those are the kind of players that are going to be at college, and so I knew that would definitely help me.
How did they not talk you into playing volleyball here at Mayville State at the same time? I'm guessing they tried, Mackenzie. Obviously, Mackenzie's going to be a softball player for Mayville State's University softball team as well. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking forward to there. Yeah, it's kind of strange. They have a split season now. They play a little in the fall, a little in the spring, and you're right in the middle of all of that, but they'll look forward to having you. And you got a brother around here, right? All right, so he's getting ready for a baseball season, I take it. All right. Mom and dad come down and make it to every game, obviously. And you're in tournament time now, so tell me what the attitude was like going out there today. I mean, yeah, it's the 7th seed, but there's no way back if you don't. It's elimination time, right? Tough question for you, Mackenzie, before I let you go. Is your game different now? You know, I see you try a couple of shots and you are very quick to go right to the basket. I think at the high school level, you were expected to hit some shots outside. You might have stayed out there and shot your way out of it. Now you have no problem driving in against bigger players, right? You find your way in there. Do you think your game is different than it was last year? Sure. One more question before I let you go. I've watched all the programs here at Mayville State over the last 2-3 years. One of the reasons why we wanted to start doing this year, they've picked up really good North Dakota talent. Like, they've really recruited hard. And you're seeing some of these kids from Fargo decide to keep playing in college instead of not do anything. What would you tell them? I mean, you know, they think about coming to a small school, small place. Is it worth it? Is it worth playing? Mackenzie, talk to the high school kids out there. Is it worth it to continue playing if you have the ability to do so? Take the shot. You guys have a bright future. Mackenzie, thank you. Appreciate it. Congrats on the win today. Mackenzie Hughes joining us, former Thompson Tommy, now Mayville State University Comet, joining us here in our halftime report. And the Comets win today in the 2-7 matchup as they knock off Presentation College this afternoon and get the big victory. Good to talk with Mackenzie, former Thompson Tommy. It's good to have her with us here today. And I'll tell you what, she's got a bright future here in this team. And really these athletic programs that are doing a great job of recruiting the backyard, they're coming on more and more all the time. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch what happens at this athletic department over the next few years here at Mayville State University. At the break, the men leading 34-21 to Dakota State. We'll come back with the halftime numbers and get ready for second half basketball on our Spray Advantage halftime report and our Apple Green Construction halftime report. This is Comet Basketball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. Dash! Foot outside. Be a foot outside. Hey, how does a Jimmy and a Viking end up seeing each other at a Mayville State basketball game? Huh? You were a coach there.
Yeah, right.
Well, right, but I'm going to count you as a Jimmy because that's where I know you from.
I played here as a Blue Hawk.
Oh, okay.
I played basketball here.
Okay. So let's see. We got Mayville, Valley, Jamestown, Dickinson covered.
Yeah.
Any way we can find a Minot State connection before we leave?
Boy, that's a good one. That's a tough one, huh? You have a hard time getting a Dickinson guy to make you a Jimmy concession. Yeah, it's this is a good atmosphere here. Though.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always love this.
Yeah.
They're not playing very well, are they?
They'll find a way.
Will they?
Yeah. But one of the
other games going?
we'll see. We got state hockey tomorrow night, so I haven't seen a score yet.
You going to Fargo tomorrow?
Double overtime, I suppose I better go, huh?
I watched that. It was quite real.
Oh. Could you imagine what Grand Forks would be saying if neither Central nor Red River made it into the state tournament? It would be, they'd be burning stuff downtown right now.
They're going to citizens the rest of that.
We welcome you back to our halftime report brought to you by Apple Green Construction. Building homes around what truly matters. You can find them online at applegreenhomes.com. That's applegreenhomes.com. Apple Green Construction can build your dream home for you, and the goal of home ownership is to own that home that no one else has ever owned. You're the only one that's owned it. It is custom made to your specifications, and Apple Green Construction, they are leaders in their field in the greater Grand Forks area. Find out what they've done for others. Find out how you can take control of that project from start to finish with Apple Green Construction. Find out more at applegreenhomes.com. That's applegreenhomes.com. Halftime numbers as Mayville State trails 34-21. With Who Lit the Lamp brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. 9 points for Berto Gittens. He's just been continually extending his range out on the foul line, hitting that mid-range jumper, which he's been allowed to take tonight. Jordan Lynn with 8, Ronnie Ladding with 7 for Dakota State. Deshaun Kelly, Jade Burma each with 4, 2 for Chris Morales, and 5 rebounds along with 7 points for Ronnie Ladding. For Mayville State, 6 points for Colby Dillenbeck and 4 boards. He had a good rotation in the opening half, but it was a struggle. Sebastian Griffin, Tom Gieske each with 4. Latrell Franklin and Sam Grayson with 3, a single for Winder Joseph. The Comets need some offense, and they need it quickly. Down 34-21. There is no time like the present season comes to an end if you do not come up with a win in the NSAA tournament. Backdoor, Sam Grayson with a two-hand flush over the left side of the rim. Drop step to Sam Grayson. The Comets have been looking to get their crowd into it. They get the dunk to start the second half. Can they match it with a stop on the defensive side? Ladding on the right elbow, jab step to his right foot, steps up on the top of the key, comes back to Morales on the left. Morales curling his way back towards the right wing, a stop, look into the corner. Jordan Lynn down the baseline from 16, the mid-range is still there. 10 points for Jordan Lynn. That's one place where Dakota State has really eaten up the Comets tonight. They've been able to hit from the foul line, from the baseline extended. It has really been an interesting night on that mid-range jump shot, which is almost an oddity now in basketball. A drive in, Gieske gets stripped by Ronnie Ladding, looking for a shot inside, a turnover by the Comets. And now Dakota State with a chance to go up 15 in the early moments of the second half. 36-23, Dakota State. Ball on the right side, Ladding trying to back down Grayson. The 270-pound load works his way inside and scores easily off the glass. They've been allowing a lot of contact inside tonight. Ladding's made the adjustment. Griffin going coast to coast for the Comets is fouled. And now we're going to see a whistle. They may overrule a call here, or are they going to see a basket interference call against Dakota State? That may be what they're going to call. A second drop in from Lamar Wood on that play. Hit the backboard. And I believe they're going to rule basket interference and an and one for Sebastian Griffin. He's going to score his sixth, and Griffin will get the bonus foul shot after Lamar Wood slapped the backboard to cause the interference. So they're going to count the shot. Griffin's at the line for the bonus and hits it. It's a three-point play for Sebastian Griffin, and the lead is cut to 12, and now a steal, the inbounds pass by the Comets. They kick down low. Gieske to the glass will score, taking from Latrell Franklin. It works into a 5-point play for Mayville State. Comets trying to capture momentum now with some full-court pressure defense. Gieske is pressuring Morales. Ball got knocked loose. Lamar Wood comes away with it for Dakota State. And the Trojans are back into the front court, leading by 10 after a minute and 40 very eventful seconds, or minutes rather. Minute and 40, 100 eventful seconds to start this second half. Ball comes to the right side with Ronnie Ladding. A baseline jump shot again comes up strong off the heel of the rim from Jordan Lynn. Rebound Latrell Franklin. Here comes Mayville State into the front court trying to cut it to single digits. They've trailed by as many as 15. Gieske on the left side of the floor gets a screen from Grayson, rotates to the foul line, out to Gieske. Ketchel moving his way into Grayson with a double team on him on the left block. Back to the right side, Ketchel left alone for three, sticks it out of the corner, right in front of the Mayville State crowd, turns and looks at the crowd to try to get them involved, and the lead is cut to 7. 38-31. Trojans back into the front court, a 7-point edge. Their lead's been cut in half. Lamar Wood on the high post along the foul line. Looking right side for Jordan Lynn on the wing. Back to Wood, cutting down to the right block. Griffin comes out to get him. Offensive foul. No. And I can't understand why not. Wood took a hard shoulder right into Latrell Franklin, cleaned him, and that's called a blocking foul, and that has Darren Tighe livid off the Mayville State University bench. He's on the floor. He's being retained by one of his assistant coaches. The foul against Griffin is his third. Dakota State will inbound the basketball, and we've seen that one called throughout the course of the night, offensive, particularly on the Dakota State offensive side. Now all of a sudden the Comets feel like they've been slighted one. Ladding inside, turning, lost the basketball, got it back, turns it back out to the top of the key for Morales. A behind the back dribble on Franklin. Morales follow away jump shot off the heel, no good. Ladding a rebound foul. Ball's going to go back to Mayville State, maybe a makeup call. Ladding had good position inside, had a man on his back. Usually going to get the board on that, but the whistle blows immediately. And some of the conversation that went on between that official and Darren Tighe is, hey, we've got this, we'll fix that call, and that's before Ronnie Ladding gets called for the foul on the rebound. So the lead remains 7. Mayville State can cut it to a 2-possession game, and Ketchel does from the right elbow on a mid-range jump shot. And a timeout by Dakota State as the Comets are right back in it. 38-33, the Trojan lead has been cut to 5 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Full timeout for the Trojans. This is Comet Basketball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Again, 7-8, 1-4, 8-7-1. And now, 50-50, which is worth $141. 4688. 884688. $141.
Thirty-eight 33 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Dakota State leading by 5. They led 38-23. This is a 10-0 run for Mayville State as we come out of the timeout. Scoreboard update brought to you by Hugo's and Hugo's Lows. Visit your Hugo's Superstores in Grand Forks. Inbounds play from Dakota State as they called the timeout to try to settle in after the Mayville State crowd started to get into it on that big 10-0 explosion. Morales into the front court for Dakota State, working right side, finds his way to Max Nielsen. Onto the wing for Jordan Lynn. Back into the post now is Cade Robb. He'll look down low, a turn inside, and the turnaround follow-away jump shot after a kick out to Jade Burma, and Burma will score his 8th. 40-33, the lead back to 7. Dakota State gets a big make out of the timeout. Gieske right side, left alone for 3. That's off the heel of the rim. Rebound strong to the perimeter. Grayson broke it up. Gieske runs it down. Mayville State will get another look. A 3 would cut it to 4, and you feel like they'd be getting some rhythm after the three-point shot was all but gone. Here's Ketchel taking the 3. That fills but won't fall. Rebound underneath, again won by Gieske. Back to the basket. Griffin can't score off the heel of the rim. Rebound goes out of bounds off of Dakota State. It'll be Comet basketball. Lids on a little bit here for Mayville State. Couple of 3s that had the right line and just wouldn't go down. And then Griffin from point blank inside, unable to score. They'll reset the shot clock. Comets will inbound the basketball underneath. Griffin cutting to the basket. Ketchel will lob it back out top of the key for Latrell Franklin. Franklin a step back on the wing, looking down towards the corner. Ketchel will take it, sprints his way back up the sideline, looks to put a move on Morales, drives to the corner, and then the switch brought Jordan Lynn out to the perimeter. Inside to Dylan Beck, return and score. Great recognition by John Ketchel to see the switch. That ended up putting Morales on Dylan Beck, a matchup that Mayville State likes inside, and Dylan Beck scores his 8th. 40-35, lead cut to 5. Post entry pass comes into the high post now for Gittens. He'll extend his range again, just inside the arc. The big man, Berto Gittens, at 6'4" and 220, scoring just inside the three-point line, and his square up right in front of the basket's been good on the perimeter all night long. Lead back to 7 at 42-35 for the Trojans. Right side, Latrell Franklin, hard take, high bank shot, down and one. Latrell Franklin going hard inside, banks it over the white box and gets it to come through and picks up the harm against Jade Burma. Franklin with his 5th, the lead cut to 5, and Mayville State can cut it to 4 as Latrell Franklin goes to the foul line. Winder Joseph will come back into the matchup for the Comets, replacing Tom Gieske. And a chance for the Comets to cut it to 2 pair after the lead was 15 not that long ago. The bonus is good for Franklin, he's got 6. 42-38, Lynn against pressure in the backcourt. Jade Burma back to Lynn, a ball fake. He'll leave Latrell Franklin behind, and now Lynn glides his way into the front court as he comes up on top. Mayville State will match up defensively. Gittens high post again the jumper, and again good. They're going to have to defend that at some point. That's 5 field goals from Berto Gittens, and they've all been from the foul line to the top of the key, extending his range the entire night. The lead is 6, 44-38 for Dakota State. Franklin in the left block, steps back out on the perimeter, looks to Dylan Beck, instead comes to Winder Joseph. Back inside to Dylan Beck against Burma. Off the glass, Dylan Beck, the freshman out of Dallas, Texas, backing his way down. Had a great rotation in the opening half. 6 points, 4 boards at the break. He's got 10 now. And the freshman's really come on strong in the second half of the season. He's leading the way inside. Gittens out on top. Again, a fall-away jump shot. Again, good for Berto Gittens. That time using the fall-away to get distance on Jamison Kramer. He connects again, and Darren Teig telling his team to go out and match up in that situation. Winder Joseph, a carry-in shot that will draw a foul on the floor against the Trojans, and Mayville State will keep the basketball. Foul against Chris Morales is his 2nd. That'll be the 4th team foul against Dakota State already, so only a couple of additional fouls to give. We played only 5:40 of the second half. Dakota State will go to their bench with Lamar Wood, one of their bigs, 6'8" senior, coming back into the matchup to replace Jade Burma inside. Winder Joseph from the baseline. The lead is 6 for Dakota State. Underneath Sebastian Griffin, the lead is 4. They find Griffin cutting to the basket, and Griffin scores his 9th. Comets back within 4 at 46-42. Nielsen to the right wing for Chris Morales for Dakota State. They go down low. Lamar Wood posting up right away in his first play in. Another jumper by Gittens, and again he hits. That's Gittens for 15, 8 in the second half, all in the mid-range, and we played only 6 minutes of the second half. Kramer, right side, popping out 3, strong off the heel of the rim. Lamar Wood, the rebound hit by Colby Dillenbeck from behind. It's going to be 3 on Colby Dillenbeck. And now a chance for Dakota State to go back up by 3 possessions as John Ketchel comes back into the game. Mayville State has decided not to really strongly defend Berto Gittens. I'm not sure if they fear that coming out and pressing Gittens is going to open up the baseline, but Gittens has proven he's going to hit that shot time and time again. Full court trapping pressure by Mayville State. Dakota State beats it with a long pass to Chris Morales, and now Morales steps up in the top of the key. And now a 3 by Gittens. That one's no good. Extended the range a bit too much. Dillenbeck comes down with a rebound for Mayville State. Another chance to cut it to 4 or 3 for the Trojans, 6.5 minutes into the second half. Ketchel stepping out in the left wing, rotates back towards the top of the key, got away from Nielsen, now to Winder Joseph right side. Joseph into the lane, a kick back. Griffin trying to flex down to the left block, works his way to the baseline, a stop and a look back out. Jamison Kramer 3, knocked it down. Jamison Kramer pumps up that Mayville State student section as the Comets cut a one-time 15-point lead down to a triple, 7 minutes into the second half. It's 48-45, the Trojans by 3. Morales into the front court between the rings, walking left, crossover dribble back to the right, gives it away to Max Nielsen, back to the left side for Lynn, into Lamar Wood. That is an offensive foul. Wood to spin, and that time Sebastian Griffin gave him some space, stepped away and let Wood spin right into him, and Griffin didn't have to sell it. Wood committed the foul. They've been getting a lot of contact that's been let go inside tonight. It was only a matter of time before somebody was going to say, no, it's offensive. That time Wood commits his 3rd, and Mayville State will get it back, and a 3-point shot would tie the game and send the roof off to Louis Lee as they work back up front. Ketchel on top, working right to the elbow, a stop and a look down low, and Grayson slips. We'll have a late whistle. They're going to call a foul against Dakota State inside as Grayson lost his footing down low. They're going to get Chris Morales for his 3rd. The head coach of Dakota State's confused. Chris Morales is confused. The Mayville State crowd behind us, they're a bit confused. But the Comets certainly won't argue the call, and now that Mayville State rowdy student section all clad in uniforms across the way. We see some Lakers stuff, we see some Chicago Bulls, a couple of Toronto Blue Jays jerseys for whatever reason. Even see a couple of hockey jerseys. You gotta appreciate the Minnesota Wild and the North Dakota uniforms that are here for hockey, the old school uniforms, you know what I'm talking about. Comets will inbound the basketball, down by 3, 48-45 to that student section, beginning to give it to some of these Trojans. Winder Joseph coming out to take a high arcing inbounds pass, driving right side, got to the window, kicks out left wing Gieske. Now the tie on the way for Jamison Kramer, no good. Gieske an offensive rebound, back to the basket, scores it, and the lead is cut to 1. Gieske cuts it to a 1-point edge with his 8th point tonight off an offensive rebound stick back. 48-47, the Trojans with a 1-point edge as they walk back up front. And the ball is kicked aside by Winder Joseph, and that's great handiwork there from my Dakota State University colleague here in the media row as he ended up catching that kick from Winder Joseph. Ball back to the top of the key. Nielsen for Dakota State in the front court. The Trojans work left to right in their navy blue uniforms. Ball on the left elbow, and this has been a place where Berto Gittens has hit all night. This time he does not. He comes up empty off the heel of the rim from 15. Ketchel the rebound for Mayville State, and the Comets go looking for a lead that's been awfully rare since the early moments of the game. Ketchel right side, a step into the foul line, look back to Jamison Kramer on the wing. Kramer with a knee-high dribble goes between the legs as he steps away from Berto Gittens, sends it back out to the right sideline for John Ketchel. Ketchel curling left into the lane, a stop, fall away with 5 on the shot clock, misses. Rebound comes down to the left side of the floor for Ethan Slodog for Dakota State, and the Trojans are back up front, still sporting the 1-point advantage. Max Nielsen off to the right side, he found Lamar Wood, now Jordan Lynn. Lynn back off towards the left, slot hog again, left alone by Ketchel. Now Ketchel will close the distance. They find Gittens in the corner. Down row, Lonnie Ladding is hit. He'll go to the foul line as Sam Grayson put a body on him. Sam Grayson will pick up his third. Ronnie Ladding, 9 points on the night. Again, you can't describe it until we give you the physical numbers on this kid. Ladding, a 6'8" freshman from Lemon Grove, California, that is 270 pounds. He can step onto the offensive line for a lot of football teams in this league, no question. Built well, but has impressive footwork and has shown us real athletic ability despite that large frame tonight. His first foul shot is short, and he's going to hear it from the Mayville State crowd. That didn't draw iron. Comet crowd gets in to Ronnie Ladding. I've seen some of these games in this conference, whether it's the old-fashioned Dakota Athletic Conference or now the NSAA. When things start to spin, they start to spin. Second foul shot is short. Mayville State comes up with a rebound. Latrell Franklin front court. They go looking again for the lead, does Mayville State. On top, Ketchel, curling right side. Carrion looks down low to Dillenbeck, booted out of bounds by Ladding. This will stay Mayville State basketball with 11:01 to play in the second half. It's 48-47 Trojans on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Ketchel to inbound the basketball for the Comets. Looking left wing, Franklin catches it, fires the three, it's off the heel. Rebound strong to the perimeter though. It's run down by John Ketchel. Gary Garner is upset that his team didn't get it. And now we have a foul away from the basketball. Ladding and Tom Gieske locking up inside for position, and Ladding's going to be hit with a foul. Second on Ladding, that's going to be the 7th against Dakota State. And Colby Dillenbeck, rather, I thought it was Gieske that had locked up in there, but they're going to say that Dillenbeck was the man that was fouled, so the freshman out of Dallas, Texas will go to the foul line, attempting to give the lead to the Comets. 1-for-1 penalty. The first is no good. Gieske, the catch and shoot, rebound. But Gieske will score his 10th, and the lead belongs to Mayville State. 49-48 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. The Comets have come back from down 15 to take a 1-point lead in a 9-minute stretch of the second half. Left side of the floor, ball with Ethan Slotdog. He comes back to Mitch Nielsen. Now to the foul line. Berto Gittens driving right, wraps around. Ladding had it, lost it, got it, and a foul. Ladding was coming back to make a fall-away bank shot, and he was hit in the act as Colby Dillenbeck got up in the air. That's going to be a foul that concerns Mayville State. It's the 4th on Dillenbeck. Darren Teig goes to his bench, tries to get Sam Grayson into the game as Teig is trying to confirm that Dillenbeck got his foul, and now Dillenbeck just realizing that the foul was called against him. He's asking if the foul should go against him. The officials confer and say yes, it's on Dillenbeck. So Colby Dillenbeck left to come out after his 4th foul, rather. And the Comets lose the services of a really, really good freshman post player for at least a handful of minutes here in the second half. Underneath, the ball with Jordan Lynn for Dakota State as he cuts baseline out to the far corner. Puts a move on Gieske and a blocking foul against Tom Gieske as Jordan Lynn tried to cut the baseline. Gieske will be called for his second. Love the atmosphere that's coming out of this one tonight. These Mayville State students on a Wednesday night that have filled up their student section, they're making it loud and in charge in here. Berto Gittens takes the inbounds pass, goes back inside for Ladding, was hit by a double team. He falls away and will travel trying to get a shot away. Comets get the basketball back. The game was 34-21 at halftime, and in 9 minutes and 44 seconds, the Comets have outscored the Trojans 28-14 to reverse a 13-point deficit that one time grew to 15 in the early moments of the second half, and now is a 1-point Mayville State lead in the opening round of this NSAA conference tournament. Winner moves on to Watertown. From the elbow, Ketchel, a jump shot short. Got his own miss, out to Latrell Franklin. Right side, Sebastian Griffin, baseline move, head fake, Euro step, missed it. Tap putback, won't go for Grayson, and Ronnie Ladding has the rebound for Dakota State. He outlets to the left side for Slotdog, and he'll turn it back to Max Nielsen, the top of the key. A right side move, and the hard take to the basket by Jordan Lynn. The reverse layup won't go. Grayson had the rebound, had it knocked loose, waiting for a call. It's Dakota State basketball off of Grayson. 9:45 left of the second half. We've had a full timeout, so no media here. And Dakota State will bring Deshaun Kelly back in off the bench to take a perimeter spot. They're going to go with a big lineup. This is as big a lineup as they put on the floor so far tonight. Really, they've got 4 forwards, although Deshaun Kelly's a guard looking forward, if you know what I mean. Jordan Lynn on the left elbow, back to Kelly. He'll take the three out of the corner and sticks it. Deshaun Kelly stepping back in the left corner and hits his seventh. Swing the lead back to Dakota State. 51-49 in favor of the Trojans. Grayson, right side, finding Tom Gieske. He'll dribble off to the top, uses a screen to jump into the lane, then kicks back to Ketchel. Ketchel, a handful of dribbles on the left side of the floor against Jordan Lynn. A stop along the baseline. Shot clock at 10 seconds as the ball's back to Gieske. Out to the circle, Latrell Franklin. Crossover dribble, got to the corner. Steps back, shot clock at 5, back down the baseline. Ball through the hands of Grayson. Whistle, foul coming up. An intentional foul coming up against Dakota State. Everybody looking to see what's been called here. There's been a signal to the floor that there is an intentional foul. And now the officials are going to get together, and we don't know who the foul is on. We don't know what team the foul is on or what player the foul is on, and both teams have gone to the sidelines to huddle with their crew. Darren Tighe peering over the shoulder of his crew, while Gary Garner, the Dakota State head coach, is out on the sideline near the stripe looking down the floor to see what the officials are going to call. We're going to get the decision. They're going to call an intentional foul on Dakota State. We know that much. We don't know who's going to get the foul as of yet, but they've come over to talk with Gary Garner about an intentional foul against his team. And Sam Grayson's going to go to the foul line. Ronnie Ladding is going to be called for the intentional foul. Gary Garner's getting into an official. He's frustrated. Bruno Gittens, one of his players, trying to restrain Gary Garner. First foul shot is good for Sam Grayson, and that'll cut it to a one-point game. 51-50, didn't see the intentional foul. It may have just been a reach to try to hold Grayson from going out to get the loose basketball, but if the reach came out intentionally, you might get that call. Second foul shot did go, and so now the basketball is going to go back to Mayville State, and I don't believe they've put that second point on the board yet. There they do, 51-51. We're tied with 9:04 to go, an elimination game in the opening round of the NSAA tournament. And the Comets get the ball after making two in the intentional foul. Finger roll, Latrell Franklin missing on the drive. Rebound comes out to the wing for Deshaun Kelly and Dakota State. Trojans back into the front court. We're all tied with under 9 to play. Ball to the right corner, Bruno Gittens to the elbow. Wood, jump shot, good. Lamar Wood stepping back for his first field goal tonight, and again it's the mid-range that Dakota State takes advantage of. They lead by 2 at 53-51. This is old school Trojan basketball. Franklin for 3 out of the corner, no good. Rebound tap to the perimeter. Gieske trying to run it down, does. Takes a little contact, kicks Franklin again, left side 3, and it's good. Latrell Franklin for the corner. 6 of his 9 have come after halftime. The lead is 1 for Mayville State, 54-53, with 8:10 to play in the second half. Lamar Wood, hard taking the lane, high off the glass, no good, and Gieske the one-handed rebound. Mayville State can go to work building a lead as they work up the floor with 8 minutes to go. Franklin left side, scoots his way into the lane with a shuffle step and steps back out onto the top of the key. A ball fake to Winder Joseph. Joseph back to the right side for Latrell Franklin. Between the legs dribble, driving hard on Kelly, got underneath, kicks to the corner. Now open is Griffin, three-point shot, rolls off the front iron. And Lamar Wood, correction, it'll be the rebound to Jordan Lynn for Dakota State with 7:35 to play in the second half. Lynn to the right side for Deshaun Kelly. He's pressured. Timeout taken by Dakota State. It's a one-point game in favor of the Comets now at the Louis Lee Fieldhouse. 7:34 to play in the second half. Full timeout for Dakota State. 54-53 Comets on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. We're back with more in a moment. This is Comet Basketball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. Back at the Louisville Fieldhouse after the timeout by Dakota State, 54-53, Comets by 1, reversing a 15-point deficit in the early moments of the second half. Ryan Cunningham with you from the Louisville tonight here at Mayville State. As we continue our coverage of Comet basketball, brought to you by Mayville State University. Your success starts here. You're wondering the big number here. Dakota State shot 60% in the second half, Mayville State 50%, but the Comets have taken 26 attempts from the field. The Trojans only 15. That's been the difference in the second half. A much more active offense for Mayville State. The three-point shot is still not a factor for the Comets, shooting just 25% from beyond the arc for the game, and that is very sub-Comets as far as that number goes. And now here's a poke away by Winder Joseph right off the inbounds pass. A turnover forced by Mayville State, and the Comets are right back in the front court looking to build on a 1-point lead. Latrell Franklin shaking and baking as he backs away from pressure from Ethan Slodog. Comes back to Jamison Kramer on the left wing. Griffin driving right, looks off a defender, steps in the lane, tries to kick down low, found Grayson, who will score off the glass. Broken play as Griffin had to step between defenders. It took some contact and found Grayson on what was almost a loose basketball. Winder Joseph gets back for the Comets and slaps the floor to try to bring the crowd into the defense chant, which they're giving. Deshaun Kelly on the right side to Slodog and down to the corner as they find Gittens. Gittens has had the hot hand tonight for Dakota State. Back to Slodog on the top of the key. He'll look left wing to Lamar Wood, trying to back his way in on Griffin, then kicks it back out. Shot clock at 7 seconds deep. Kelly out of the corner, three-point shot, rolls off the front, no good. Kramer comes up with a rebound for Mayville State, uncontested. Three-point game for the Comets at 56-53, 6:25 to play in regulation. A drive, Franklin, teardrop in the lane, rolls around, it will not go down. Grayson was around the board, but it rung out before he could get there. And the rebound to Deshaun Kelly for Dakota State as the Trojans work back up front. Lamar Wood taking the basketball in the right block from Jordan Lynn. Wood trying to back his way in on Griffin again. We've got a whistle. I'm not sure what they're going to call here. They're going to call a travel. We'll see what else they're going to call here. They're going to give a flop warning to Sebastian Griffin. There was contact along the baseline. Griffin did fall back before the travel. Mayville State will get it off the turnover. But Sebastian Griffin trying to draw the charge will get a flop warning on that. So the Comets will get together and make sure they're aware of the implications of that warning. And Mayville State will inbound the basketball after the traveling violation, gives it back to them with 6:05 to play in the second half. 56-53 Comets. They were down 48-33 in an earlier juncture of this matchup. Actually, correction, 38-23 earlier juncture in this matchup. This has been a big night tonight in the second half. Ketchel, left side, Winder Joseph, crossover, got inside, high bank shot. Winder Joseph falling to the planet, scores again, banking high over the box. Winder Joseph, an athletic take into the lane for his first field goal tonight. He's got 3. Comets by 5 with 5:38 to go. Ball on the right side of the floor with Deshaun Kelly for Dakota State. Slodog bluffs on a 3 from 15. The baseline jumper won't go. Rebound, put back, Bruno Gittens. That's his 10th of the half, his 17th of the game on 8 field goals tonight for Gittens, and it cuts the lead to 3. 58-55. Sam Grayson on top of the key for Mayville State. Winder Joseph barely held his left pivot foot as he took the handoff. Gieske working right side, back to Ketchel on the flex. Ketchel stepping back out by the stripe with shot clock at 10 seconds. A crossover on Kelly into Winder Joseph on the wing. Shot clock at 5. Joseph off the dribble. Three-point shot strong. Rebound deflected loose. It's brought down by Max Nielsen for Dakota State. Slodog up the floor. Nielsen and Slodog played catch on the foul line. Look to the left side. Lamar Wood spinning on Grayson. Reverse layup. Short. Grayson had the rebound. Lost it. Poked loose. Picked up by Lamar Wood offensively. The kick to Nielsen for 3, and he banks it in. Max Nielsen for his first field goal tonight. That hit way up over the box as well. Banks in, and we're tied at 58. They say the best shot in hockey is a shot on goal, right? Three-point shot the other way for Gieske, no good. Rebound to Winder Joseph, who took a hellacious hit up in the middle of the year as he came over to take the basketball. And Lamar Wood is going to be called for his 4th personal foul as he laid in the wood on Winder Joseph in midair. And Gary Garner, the head coach for Dakota State, is hot. During the timeout that he took a couple of moments ago, he spent the first probably 30 seconds of the timeout just reading it to every official that he could get his hands on. not his hands on literally, but figuratively, and then came out onto the stripe on that call and didn't like the contact in midair. But Winder Joseph is going to go to the line, 1-for-1 penalty on the 9th team foul against Dakota State. Joseph at the line, he's 1 for 2 tonight, back in the opening half. First foul shot is on the way and good for Winder Joseph. Lead grows to 1 again for Mayville State. That's the 4th tonight for Winder Joseph. 59-58 Comets. Remember, there was a 1-game difference between number 4 in the league and number 1 in the league. Mayville State finished 8-6, the 4 seed. The top seed in the tournament was Viterbo at 9-5. If this is the way this conference is going to be, Watertown's going to be lit coming up this weekend. Winder Joseph knocks down the back end. He's 3 of 4 from the line and has 5. The lead is 2 for the Comets at 60-58. On the top of the key, the ball with Deshaun Kelly. A stop and a look into Lamar Wood in the right block. Wood stepping away, tries to pivot to the glass, scoring over the outstretched arm of Sam Grayson inside. And Latrell Frank, correction, Lamar Wood will score his 4th. Colby Dillenbeck has returned for Mayville State. He was inside defensively on that as well, and he's got his 4th foul already tonight, so he's got to be careful. We're tied at 60 after the make by Lamar Wood. John Ketchel, a drive into the lane, curls back out towards the right side, a stop and a look to the perimeter. Tom Gieske with the shot clock waning, a teardropper in the lane, and a foul coming up as Gieske got to the basket. It'll go against Berto Gittens and be his 1st tonight for Dakota State. Both teams now kind of settling in for what could be a rough and tumble 3:41 to the finish. You're not seeing the kind of flow that we saw out of Mayville State during the long stretch to come back in this one. Gieske at the line hits the front end. But every shot is magnified when you get into conference tournament time, and only one of these teams goes on to Watertown on Saturday. 61-60, the Comets break the lead back in their favor. Gieske at the line for number 2, and that is good. He's got 12 tonight. The former Sartell St. Stephen Sabre comes in and knocks down a couple. Leading scorer for Mayville State coming into the postseason is Tom Gieske, a junior, which makes him sort of one of the overclassmen, if you will. This roster for Mayville State, a senior and 2 juniors, so he's one of the leaders out there. He's had a great season for the Comets, teaching some of the understudies. Berto Gittens on the left block for Dakota State. A stop and a kick out. Chris Morales has it on the left wing. Morales stepping away from pressure. Shot clock half expired. Ball into Lamar Wood on the right side. He drives and puts one down with a tomahawk slam on the right side of the rim. Big take inside for Lamar Wood. He's got 6 on the night. We're tied again at 62. Ball on the top of the key with Colby Dillenbeck for Mayville State. Left side, Franklin. What you get the sense of here is Mayville State needs a 3 to turn this trading back into their favor. Ball with Dillenbeck off of a near takeaway. Dillenbeck spins his way into the lane, got knocked down. Bowed down to the floor is Winder Joseph for a loose basketball. A whistle blows. Mayville State may have been trying to call timeout, but they're going to rule held ball instead, and Dakota State will get it on the arrow. So with 2:53 left until the end of regulation, Sam Grayson steps back out from in front of the scorer's table to take his spot inside, and Dakota State will go hunting a late lead. 62-62 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Deshaun Kelly on the left sideline. A stop and a look. Comes into the foul line. Found his way in. Jordan Lynn, fall-away jump shot. The mid-ranger again. Dakota State's trying to beat Mayville State with old-school basketball from 15 feet. They've been lights out tonight. The lead goes back to the Trojans, and Mayville State will call for timeout. 2:35 left in the second half. 64-62 Trojans over the Comets on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. We have a timeout on the floor here at the Louis Lee Fieldhouse. This is Comet Basketball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. 64-62. Mayville State down 2 to Dakota State with 2:35 left in the second half. Welcome back to Comet Basketball in the NSAA tournament here on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. Ryan Cunningham with you for the Louis Lee Fieldhouse. Timeout taken by Dakota State as they reclaimed the lead after leading by 15 and watching Mayville State lead by as many as 3 here in the second half. Ketchel, wide open three-point shot, rims in and out. They cannot get one to rim down. Can the Comets from beyond in the waning stages here. And now Dakota State with a chance to go up by 2 possessions late in the game. Up the floor, Jordan Lynn. He's got cotton in his left nostril. That's because it's been a physical game inside. He's trying to stop up a nosebleed right now. Ball goes inside. Lamar Wood, turn, follow away, left hand. He posts up and scores. Lamar Wood with 8 all in the second half. Lamar Wood, an 11-point scorer. He was held off the scoreboard in the entire opening half. The lead is 4 for Dakota State. Top of the key, Ketchel working right side. Winder Joseph looking down to Latrell Franklin. Tap, put back on the miss by Sam Grayson. Grayson taps it off the backboard. He has 8.5 and 11 for the game. Comets back within 2 with 1:40 to go here in the second half. Lynn on the right side for Deshaun Kelly. Kelly a stop, wheels one back into Lamar Wood on the right block, trying to back his way in on Griffin. Turns, got to the basket, fouled. He'll go to the foul line. Wood had the opening to get to the backboard. They didn't double down on him in that situation, and they may be more comfortable putting him on the foul line as Sebastian Griffin will pick up the foul. That'll be his 4th. Here's the foul situation. Griffin with 4, Dylan Beck with 4, Grayson with 3, all in the front line. So if this thing were to go extra frames, if you will, tonight, Mayville State's in a bit of a bind as far as the foul situation goes. Lamar Wood, opener, no good. I guess you could say it turns into a good foul. Lamar Wood has 4, no one else with more than 3 for Dakota State, so they've got some room to give, and Ronnie Ladding is currently on the bench getting the rest for a push. Second foul shot is good for Lamar Wood, and the lead is back to 3 for the Trojans, and we'll see a timeout taken by Dakota State. 67-64, full timeout Trojans. They lead by 3 on the Hugo's Lowe's scoreboard with 1:30 remaining in the second half. We'll back with more Comet basketball in a couple of moments here in the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. 67-64, Dakota State by 3 with 90 seconds left in regulation here at Mayville State University in the Louis Lee Fieldhouse. The NSAA opening round. Winner moves on to get Viterbo in the semifinals down in Watertown on Saturday. And right now the Comets, who have trailed by as many as 15 and led by as many as 3 in the second half with the basketball, trying for a conversion to cut it to 1 or tie. Gieske will take it inside, got stuffed. Ball comes out with Berto Gittens, big block and big rebound for Berto Gittens. And now Dakota State's in the front court looking for a 2-possession lead with the clock right around a minute to go. This could be dagger time for the Trojans. On top, ball with Morales, gives it away to Deshaun Kelly, back to Morales and now to Lamar Wood. Wood on Grayson. Wood a ball fake, backing his way in, kicking out. Morales on the way for 3, it's off the heel of the rim. Rebound Gieske, 50 seconds left to go. The Comets would like 2 possessions if they can get them. Ketchel into the front court, driving hard, take to the basket, finger roll layup, missed. Rebound over the top for Lamar Wood, and the Comets now down by 3 and will have to foul for possession as they'll put Jordan Lynn on the foul line. So the Comets with 38.9 seconds left choose to foul. That's the 7th foul for Mayville State. So this will put Lamar Wood on the foul line for the 1-for-1 penalty. Jamison Kramer comes in to replace Sebastian Griffin. As the Comets know now, they're going to have to change tail and try to hit a three-point shot. So they're going to put some three-point threats on the floor, and right now they've got 3 of them out there. John Ketchel trying to hide on Chris Morales. He goes back underneath the basket. Morales just found him. He's going to go back. 1-for-1 penalty. The Comets need a miss from Jordan Lynn. First on the way is good. That's the one they needed to miss. And now we'll see a whistle and a timeout will be taken by Dakota State in between the foul shots with 38.9 seconds left. Gives us an opportunity to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Comet Basketball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network. From the Louis Lee Fieldhouse, Ryan Cunningham with you this evening. Down to the final seconds of this one, 38.9 to play. And it's a 2-possession game for Dakota State, 68-64 over Mayville State. A second foul shot is on the way for Jordan Lynn, who on the night is 5 of 6 from the foul line. And again, it's an elimination game. One and done in the NSAA tournament if you don't get in the opening round. Mayville State with an 8-6 record. Lost a tiebreaker to Valley City State to be the 3 seed. They end up the 4 seed. Dakota State was 7-7. They were the 5 seed coming in, but again, 9-5 won the NSAA. So these two teams, a game and 2 games respectively, the 4 and 5 seeds, away from first place in the in the North Star Athletic Association. Old habits are hard to break in that Dakota Athletic Conference reference. And so now a chance for a 5-point lead for Dakota State. And to give you an idea of how much this changes the game here, Mayville State with plenty of 3-point shooters. You hit this, you force a 3 and a 2. Mayville State's going to be looking for a 3 anyway, and they're going to get up the floor fast as Dakota State's not going to fight for a rebound, which I find a little strange here considering the down and distance, if you will. Second foul shot's good. That'll make it 5. So Jordan Lynn makes it a 5-point game with his 14th point. The lead is 5 for Dakota State. Comets need a 3, and they need it in a hurry. Between the legs dribble, Ketchel. Latrell Franklin on the right side, bodied up. He'll go in down low. They're going to give it to Colby Dillenbeck. He'll take the glass shot and score his 12. So they penetrate. They get Colby Dillenbeck to the glass to score the 2 as the Comets go either 3 or 2 in that sequence, but now it comes down to a turnover or a foul. The good news, if you're a Comet fan here, is that Mayville State has 2 more fouls to give in the 1-for-1 penalty. So you have a chance to get a miss on the front end of the penalty and get the basketball back without having to give up 2 automatically. It's the double penalty so far for Dakota State. Each team with a couple of timeouts left as we have another being taken here. Tomorrow night, it's back to high school hockey here on KNOX from the North Dakota State Class A hockey tournament. Red River qualifying in a double overtime thriller back on Monday afternoon, and they will play tomorrow against Bismarck Legacy. Great storyline as Mario Lamoureux, Grand Forks native, is the head coach of Legacy in their very first year of high school hockey, and the Sabres have made their way into the state tournament. It's an 8 o'clock face-off from Shields Arena in Fargo. Coming up tomorrow. For those of you that are girls hockey fans, Rock 95 has you covered with the Night Riders in the opening round of the state hockey tournament. It'll be an 11 o'clock in the morning affair, a little brunch hockey from Farmers Union Insurance Center in Fargo, where the Night Riders will go up against the Fargo Davies Eagles. The Night Riders are the 8 seed, the Eagles are the 1 seed. Tournament time is crazy. We have March Madness in February here in North Dakota. 29.8 seconds left. And the inbounds play will be against full court man-to-man pressure for Mayville State. Comets need to turn over in the worst way. Inbounds pass comes into Lamar Wood. He's trapped in the backcourt. Wood trying to dribble away from Latrell Franklin. Franklin got him from behind. Not a terrible foul to give, but Lamar Wood's probably not the guy you want to foul. Franklin's first. They would have preferred to kind of seal the trap along the half line before giving up the foul, at least make Dakota State break the pressure. Nonetheless, they'll conserve some clock, and the Comets need a miss in this front end. Lynn's first is on the way. It's good. Foul shots for possession down the stretch win tournament games, especially in a 4-5 affair. Lead back to 2 possessions with 25.5 seconds left. 70-66. Lynn trying to make it a 5-point game again. Second is on the way, looks short, is short. Rebound slapped nearly out of bounds, saved in bounds by the Comets. They look up the floor, Dylan Beck's open to the glass, counted one on the slam dunk for Colby Dylan Beck in full court transition. Dylan Beck goes up and puts it down with two hands and takes the contact from Chris Morales. That opens the window for Mayville State with 19.6 seconds left. Dylan Beck cuts it to one. The freshman out of the Lone Star State will have a chance to cut it to a 1-point game with still 19.6 seconds to go on the hoop and harm and the slam dunk. Dylan Beck with 14, including 8 in the second half. Here's the try to cut it to one. It's off the heel. Rebound comes out to the perimeter, and it's picked up by Max Nielsen. Now the Trojans try to get up the floor, and a shot is blocked over the top by Colby Dylan Beck. Dylan Beck commits the foul over the top, trying to deny the easy basket for Berto Giddens. Dylan Beck is fouled out of the game. Dakota State is unhappy about the harm on it. Chris Morales comes over to start yelling at Dylan Beck. The team comes over to confront Morales. Dylan Beck going back to his huddle as he's fouled out. Dakota State's going to want an intentional foul here because there was an intentional foul called earlier against Dakota State in the half-court set. That was a good foul by Dylan Beck. It was just a hard foul, but you got to commit a foul. They went after the basketball, or at least he did. I don't know if you call this intentional, except that Berto Giddens was hit pretty hard from behind. The Dakota State crowd behind us, they're up. They're trying to join the conversation with the officials down the stretch. Berto Giddens is going to go to the foul line. We know that much. He's one of two from the line tonight. The officials are being chided by Gary Garner. I really don't think that's an intentional foul, and I know that I might play Mayville State homer here, but I don't see that as an intentional foul. I don't think they've called intentional foul yet, looking down the bench here to see what's going to happen, but that was just a good hard foul from behind. Dylan Beck's got to come in now again. He came in with a hard foul, but right now they're talking with Darren Teig, and the way he's reacting, it looks like this is going to be called an intentional foul. And here comes the Mayville State crowd. They're not happy about it. You teach your players, if you're going to foul in that situation, you foul hard to make sure you don't give up the easy basket. I thought that's what Dylan Beck did. The officials get together, though, and they see it another way. And now Berto Giddens is going to shoot double penalty. First is on the way and good. He was on the shot anyway, so it wouldn't matter. The first is good. That makes it 71-68. So the lead grows to 3 for Dakota State. A chance now to almost put it away with a 2-possession game, and they'll do so. So Berto Giddens with 10 in the second half, 17 the game. The lead is 4, 72-68. Sam Grayson's going to come into the game for Jamison Kramer as Dakota State gets the basketball back on the back end of the intentional foul. Inbounds pass will come in from Jordan Lynn. He loops it out to Berto Giddens, and he got stripped. The ball goes loose on the floor. Grayson got it. Whistle, timeout Mayville State with 8.1 seconds left. The Comets force a turnover, down by 4. And Mayville State will call for a timeout to put together their run at it, down 4 with a handful of seconds to go. So you start to think this one through. You have 8 seconds left if you're the Comets. You need a 3. That's your game, and Mayville State has just not shot the ball well from beyond the arc tonight. They had 4 3-point shots go down for the entire game. At the last numbers, which came out halfway through the second half, they were shooting 20% from the 3-point line at 1 of 5. They've had a couple that have rattled through and have not gone down tonight. And so if you get the ball, which you have, 8 seconds to go, you need your best 3 with about 4 seconds left on the clock, you would think. You get a 3, you cut it to 1. That gives you a chance to foul. And even if both foul shots are made, you still have a couple of seconds to get a decent look at a 3 that could tie the game and force overtime. That's really what the recipe is right now for Mayville State. Right now, they've got to drop a 3-point shot. 2 doesn't do you any good here. You hit 2 and you give up the foul shots, then Dakota State can win the game from the foul line. You've got to hit a 3-point shot on this possession. So Darren Tighe calls the timeout for Mayville State. The Comets will inbound at half court with 8.1 seconds to go. You need a 3 in about 3.5, 4 seconds here. That's really what you got to have if you're the Comets. Gieske will inbound. John Ketchel will take it. Ketchel from the top, 4-3, missed it. Rebound to the perimeter, foul, and that's going to do it for this one. Max Nielsen is fouled. John Ketchel, the senior, tries to take the last shot of the game for Mayville State. Comes up short on a 3. And now Dakota State will go to the foul line to pound the final nails in the coffin and book their trip to Watertown, South Dakota, coming up on Saturday afternoon. Tough finish for this young Mayville State team tonight. 1 senior on the roster, 2 juniors, a host of sophomores and freshmen. Got down 15, came back, got the lead, but not enough down the stretch, particularly from the outside shooting as Max Nielsen knocks down the front end to make it 78-63 Dakota State. 2.9 left. Second shot for Nielsen, good. Lead is 6. Comets have one chance to try to cut into the lead a little bit. 3 by Franklin. He got it off at the horn. It's no good. And this one comes to a close with Dakota State grabbing the victory tonight. It's going to be an unbelievable NSAA tournament for somebody. These two teams were both just a win and 2 wins respectively away from first place in the conference. But tonight, Dakota State with that mid-range jump shot builds up a 15-point lead, survives the comeback bid from Mayville State. Comets struggle to shoot from the outside, and Dakota State takes advantage in a road win tonight in the NSAA tournament. Your final score on the Hugo's Low scoreboard will be Dakota State 74 and Mayville State 68. Our post-game report and a wrap-up from Comet Basketball is on the way next here in the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.